So very briefly, this is the hexie I've already finished. That's a full 20 rounds, and you can see I've actually pinned my shoulder seam. Here's the hexie I have in progress. I'm currently working the 20th round, and you can see I've done like my one edge over here. As I start to turn the corner, I'm going to chain 7 as usual. 5, 6, 7, but then to connect it to the other piece, I'm going to do this nifty little thing where I tuck that through. So I've gotten my finished hexie on the bottom, my work in progress on top, and I'm actually reaching behind and grabbing my new piece. Then I yarn over and work my double crochet into my new hexie. Chain 5 as usual, and pull your new piece through your old piece. You can see it's going behind, and work into it. Chain 5 as usual. Look for your next double crochet, pull the new piece through the old piece, whoops, and work into it. I'm not going to work the whole back seam like this, but this is how I make the entire back seam. It's also how I do the tops of the sleeves. So I have put stitch markers in to link them up. And once my back seam is finished, I'm going to lay out my 2 hexagons again that are now completed with a straight seam down the back. And then what I'm going to do is work from the left cuff all the way across to the right cuff so that I make that one top joining seam in one piece. Don't know why I felt the need to swipe my finger through the air there. That did nothing at all. But I'm sure that you can imagine what I'm talking about. And this is laid out in photos in my Passion as well. But sometimes this seam action works a little bit if you see it as a process rather than a series of static photos. So I hope that this has made things clearer for you. And if you don't like this seam, like that's completely fine. You can just work your single crochet down the back, and that's going to be completely fine. But this gives a really nice kind of slinky look. It makes a little bit of a feature out of your seams, and it means that they don't stand out and they're not hugely obvious. 4, 5. When I say they don't stand out, they're not like a lumpy line running down the back. You can see they're kind of braided through each other so that when they're laid flat, they just zigzag in and kind of blend in with the mesh that you've created. So that's what the seam at the top of your sleeves is going to look like, running from each shoulder down towards your wrist. And this is also what your center back seam looks like.